to you. Welcome to this 10th of March for 2021, and welcome into my house. A little bit of art going on, a little bit of it's not any art going on. Who am I fooling? I haven't done anything in weeks, people. Weeks. It's a little bit frustrating, but learning to live with your restrictions is just part of going through life, I guess. And it's funny how you learn new words and new things that you didn't think about in the past. I mentioned the other day, by the way, I'm Dan Gresham. This is my house. That's why it's called Dan's at Home. Is this a newscast? Absolutely not. This is me and you spending a little bit of time together, talking about things that are happening in our world, which is not necessarily the same world that people in Washington, D.C. inhabit, or Austin, Texas, but their decisions affect us. So obviously we do talk about those things. What I was going to say was, one of the things that I have learned is that you can adapt. I would have never said I could have used a fork as well as I can left-handed. I've adapted very well to that one. I can button a shirt, no problem, left-handed. There are some things that I cannot do left-handed that I have accepted. I cannot write left-handed. I have tried. It is so, no, if you can't even, I can't read it, and I wrote it. So that I've accepted. I've just kind of accepted. I'm not going to be writing. But you adapt, right? You find other things. You start using your laptop. You start using your phone with your little notes apps that you might have. I've resorted to taking pictures of things instead of writing things. It's crazy. But you adapt. That's what we have to do. That's what we have all done, right? Over the course of this pandemic for more than a year, we've adapted. You do the things that you have to do to get on with life. Oh, you can't go in certain places. Okay. Oh, you can't go in certain places unless you do certain things. Oh, okay. And yes, there's always pushback and there's always blowback, and there are always those people who are going to refuse to do it. That's just human nature. It's not like this is the first time this has happened. Pandemics have been happening almost since the beginning of, mankind's existence. We have had these kind of events happening. Now, they haven't always been dealt with the same way, and they always have not been on equal footing scientifically, nor have they had the same result. I mean, when you think about it, this pandemic, yes, it's killed hundreds of thousands of people, and it has been horrible for those who have been touched by it. But when you put it into historical perspective, as far as worst pandemics ever on the face of the planet, it would not be number one. It would not be number two. Does that make it any less impactful on the people? No. But it's a whole lot different than people waking up in the morning and having, funeral pyres going out in the street, fires, bonfires, where you have nothing left to do. There's not enough room to bury all the people who have died from the disease. We're not at that point. Yes, it's horrible. Yes, it's bad. But again, put into historical perspective, this is not the worst ever. I say all this as kind of a preamble to what's about to take place today. We made those adjustments. People started social distancing, some better than others. We put on facial coverings, some willingly, some begrudgingly, some did it very well, some refused to do it at all. Now we started to take vaccines. Some will get them, some will not. My point being, today, the game changes again. Why does the game change? Because decisions are made and put in place. One of those decisions earlier was a state mandate. We would do certain things. Kind of weird, though. There was never really, they threatened consequence, but name one person that who was either fined and or arrested for failure to obey the mandates. I can't name you one. I can't. There might have been some very, very early on, but not many, and it didn't last long. So the mandates, yeah, they still, it seemed like everywhere you went, people observed them for the most part. But now that those mandates are removed, will it change? Yeah, it's going to change. Come on, let's don't fool ourselves. Sure, it's going to change. It's going to change a lot, whether you like it or don't like it. Now, you still have some options available to you. Nobody told you you couldn't wear your mask. They just told you didn't have to wear your mask, right? All right, we're going to get into details of that. But before we do, always invite you in your comments. You know I love reading your thoughts. I like knowing what's going on with you. I like hearing from you. I like being able to interact and know what's going on. For example, Marie Jackson is up this morning. Chason, good morning to you. Hi, Eileen, over in the UK. It's good to see you this morning. Portia Johnson Davis is up with us this morning. What else is going on? Let's see. Elizabeth is here. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Tammy. I love my faithful folks. Teresa, good morning to you. Also, Joetta, good morning to you as well. Chason Carey says, I wish I could get into a better mindset. I know what you're saying. Sometimes when you go to that place, that's not all sunshine and roses, Chason. It takes months. Sometimes, let's be honest, for some people, they never come back. But it's how do you battle those things? That's kind of the personal journey everybody's on every day when you get up. Carlene, good morning to you. Taina says we should never adapt to any form of servitude. I think the definition would be, what is servitude? Taina. Also, Eileen says, we folks left-handed in the UK, we use forks left-handed in the UK. That's true. I forgot about that. You do. If you watch people in other countries eat, it's interesting how they do it, because not everybody does it. In some countries, there are no utensils at all. They would be eating, you use your fingers to eat, for sure. Nina, I watched you when I lived in Lumberton, but now she's in California. Well, thank you for picking us up there. Appreciate it, for sure. Also, April is up with us. Good morning. Hi, April. I'm just kind of going through trying to make sure I don't get repeats here. Nina McCarver, good windy morning from Mauriceville. Not complaining. I get it. You're not complaining. You're just pointing out what's going on. Tom, they're in Frankfort, Illinois. I'm just wondering when you're going to make Southeast Texas your permanent residence there, Tom. Be a whole lot easier. Also watching this morning from Lancaster, PA. Hi, Anna Hester. I thank you for taking the time this morning. I say it all the time, and I really do mean it. Time to me is the greatest currency of life. And when you make that investment in whatever you do during the day, it's not like you're going to, do you get a return on your investment? That's the question. Hi, Jordan. Hope you're having a good one so far. Daryl, thank you. Progressing in the right direction. Daryl, patience is a virtue which I'm not real good at, to be honest, but I'm trying we were talking about things you learn. I learned to be left-handed. I also learned what the word immobile means. Immobile. It means you can't do anything. Your one side of your body is just kind of glued to your side. Yeah. And for those who ask, yes, I am still wearing the sling. I took the top strap off and I still have the bottom half. I can show it to you, I think. There you go. So I still have this part of the contraption on, but I just don't have this because people were asking. Hi, Denise. Good to see you this morning. Also, Coffee is up with us this morning. Hi, Ruth. Thanks for taking the time. Jeannie Foster, you betcha. Thank you as well. Maggie Zarnstoroff. Trying. This is scary knowing this is still out there, making people sick. I hope everyone still wears their mask. Maggie, let's be honest. Everyone is not going to still wear their mask. That's true. I know that's true. The question is who will and where and how you feel about it. Again, because there was a statewide mandate, it didn't make people wear their mask. What made people wear their mask, I would think, would be a couple of different things. Fear probably motivated a whole lot of people, but so did the idea of community. you would think, for a lot of other people, that they were obligated, not to themselves, because wearing a mask is not necessarily about protecting yourself. It's about protecting someone else, hoping that they will return the favor and protect you. Let's go to the headlines this morning, see what's happening. As I mentioned, this is going to be the story that dominates the day. There's no doubt about it. It is our top story this morning for sure. And I'm not sure why everything is oversized this morning, and I'm not sure if I can fix it. But let's try this one. Oh, I'm not sure what's going on there. And I'm not sure with my limited ability I can really change things a lot. But this is Texas Tribune. Let me try one thing here and see if I can get this to work correctly, and maybe we can get it back. No, that's a different issue altogether, and I'm not sure what it is. Well, that's a little bit better. You can see the headline. This is Texas Tribune. Texas no longer has a statewide mask mandate, but face covering still required in some businesses and public places. Texas statewide mask mandate has ended. Businesses are now allowed to operate full capacity as long as the hospitals in their regions, we know this, 15%, right, when it comes to COVID patients. But this is kind of interesting because it breaks it all down for you. Not everyone, they may take the signs down, others may not, and encourage you to remain masked up. But again, I'm not sure anybody is going to confront you. Statewide, again, they are not required. School boards, courts, college campuses can still require masks. Local governments can also require them in their facilities. Legal protections for enforcing the mask usage have been significantly lessened, not that they were ever there in full force. And again, you can go in and see what people are saying. I thought it was interesting when you start looking at different organizations. If I can get, I think I can, you can see the one story there. It says, Vidor ISD board ends mask mandate in district. This is going to be district by district across the state of Texas. That some will say, you know what, we're staying with it. Others will not. Here's another story. In Beaumont, City Up, Council highly recommends but doesn't mandate face coverings in city-owned facilities. So again, as you go out, you may notice. Now, listen, people are going to say to you, oh, if you have to take those signs down. You can't leave those signs up in businesses. Yeah, you can. You can leave. A business has the right to ask you to wear a mask. It is not your constitutional right to dictate to the business owner. You can say, well, yeah, but you serve me. I'm your customer. You do it. Yeah, but you're only one customer out of how many? Now, can they have a sign up that says the governor requires you to wear a mask? Of course not, because that mandate is done. But can they have a mask up that says our business requires you? Yeah, they can. Look at constitutional scholars across the state of Texas. They've been debating this for days. And almost universally, they say that it is not unconstitutional for them to ask you to wear a mask. But again, it's going to be a patchwork of all kinds of, that's the problem. When you have a state mandate, it's kind of a blanket effect. Now it's going to be, do I or don't I, should I or shouldn't I? And you're going to have to make, we've said this all along. You're the one that has to make that decision. Now, you may only have to make that decision for you, but you may also have to make that decision for your entire family. Depends on your situation. But we will figure this out, and we will move forward. Does it require great debate? Does it require constant conflict? Does it? Or do we just figure this out and you go along to get along on some things instead of feeling like that you have to force the issue? That's the question we will watch and see what happens. Many people will continue to wear a mask. I will continue to wear a mask. I'm not wearing it because there's a state mandate. I'm fully vaccinated. I'm wearing it because I'm doing it for somebody else who hasn't been vaccinated. All right? All right, so let's see. I had a couple more I wanted to show you. I thought this was an interesting story, and I apologize for my computer here, but I think you can see this. This is Texas Monthly, and it says a matter of life and death. Latino food workers are terrified as COVID-19 restrictions end. They fear that the end of the mask mandate and the influx of spring break crowd is a recipe for danger. And they point to other issues and other situations in which people have come in during the mandate and, been angry and confronted them, threatening them. We had a situation in Houston, reported in the Houston Chronicle, about the fact that somebody said, okay, we're going to require masks. So they threatened to call ICE and have all of their workers deported. And the owner said, you don't know my workers, fine, call ICE. Every one of them is fine. All of them are green card. All of them, have a work visa. But it was the fact that, because they did not like the situation, they were ready, to take action. It's going to be interesting to watch. And again, today is day one of this situation. We will certainly have full coverage coming up throughout the day on KFDM and KBTV. Again, it will take time. It will take time. Let's hope we're heading in a direction that, wouldn't it be nice? Did you see where the Smithsonian is actually collecting, the memorabilia? I guess it's not memorabilia. It will be in a short period of time, but they're collecting items related to the pandemic. Because let's face it, there will be a period of time, whether it's a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, just like we pointed to 1918 and the Spanish flu. When this happens again, and it will happen again, people will point and go, oh, you remember the pandemic of 2020? So the Smithsonian is actually collecting items that they will have, I guess, for display at some future date. The times we live in. All right, I'm not sure if I'm going to get any of these other websites to work. We can see. I thought we'd end with something a little bit fuller. Sure Sign. Gosh, I wish that would. A sure sign that spring has sprung. I don't know if you can see this. I apologize. But it just says fully operational outfitter kicking off tubing on the Comal River on Tuesday. That is a sure sign of spring. People are already getting out on the river. I don't think they're quite like that yet, but I bet they will be by 2 weeks from now. The water's still got to be a little bit chilly. Also, I had a couple other stories, but I in light of the fact that I can't seem to get that computer to comply, we'll take a pass on that one, all right? So I'm going to end it right there, again, where it started, that today is a brand new day, and new things are coming our way, so pay attention to what's going on in your community, the things that you're concerned about. If you have something you want to say, there are a lot of forums for you to be able to say it, and there are a lot of ways to say it. And again, confrontation is not the only way. Civil discourse. It's a real tenet, a real foundation of our country. And somewhere we've decided that's not the way we do things anymore. But it can be. But it takes people like you to start the conversation in a civil manner, right? All right. And also learn how to diffuse those who don't want to talk that, who there's either drama or anger that drives them. All right, listen, thank you for your time again today. I appreciate it. Hit me with a like if you don't mind. Hit me with an angry emoji if you want to, just to know that you're out there and that, you're here for the moment. Maybe you'll be back tomorrow. I hope that's the case. I do want to remind you, as we always do, there are a lot of ways that you can follow what's happening, the events of the day, whether it's KFDM.com, our website, KBTV Fox 4. You can also stay right here on the KFDM Facebook page. We update our stories just like we do on all of our social media and all of our websites. You can also follow me on Twitter, Morning TV Dan, and our YouTube channel is Dan's at Home. You can subscribe, doesn't cost you anything. We just post all of these updates there. So if you happen to be on Facebook on YouTube instead of Facebook, you can still see the updates. Again, appreciate your dropping by today. Hope you'll go out and make it a safe day. And again, I can't define that for you. I can't tell you what that means. but you know what it means to do. Go out and be responsible, and we will look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. Have yourself a terrific day.